good afternoon. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the notification bell. And today, we got ourselves a quality check with the Model Y. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So alright, we have this gray Model Y and it has the upgraded wheels. And let's do ourselves a quality check. And a quality check is basically going throughout the panels and we're either going to give it a pass or a fail. So let's first off start by looking at the left side of this Model Y. And what we want to do is match the fender with the hood and the hood to match the bumper, and there's no discoloration, nothing that catches our eye. So far so good. So now let's move on to the right side. Beautiful. So far so good. Let's take a look at the driver's side wheels. Now let's take a look over here at this driver's side door. And we want to see a very thin gap. I do notice that the gap is bigger over here and then it tends to thin out over here at the bottom there. It should be even and it should be consistent, but that's very small. So this is the interior, and as you can see, it's all packaged up, ready to go. So let's take a look over here at the door handle, and it is flush. Now let's take a look over here at this door. You want to slide one finger from this panel to this panel and you'll be able to tell if it's flush by feeling. Well, this is not flush. It does poke out a little bit, but it's very minor. Now let's move on to the rear door. Let's check if this door handle is flush, and it is flush. Those are the wheels. Now let's check this door to see if it's flush, and it's not flush. So we do have ourselves an issue with this Model Y, and it's been a very common problem, and that's this left side trunk gap. Look at it. You can almost fit your finger in there. This gap is way too big for my personal standards. I would probably have to get that fixed and book a service appointment. Remember, my standards are not your standards, and vice versa. So if you feel that this is okay, then you're more than welcome to accept it, but it's not something that I would accept. So that gap also needs to be a little bit tighter. I've been doing quality checks on thousands and thousands of Model Ys that have been delivered. So I know when Tesla builds a good vehicle. And let's check this rear left light. And it is flush, so that's good. And the right side is flush, and that's great. Now let's check the right side, where we normally see it's a lot better than the left side. I will say that this panel also sits down a little bit. It doesn't sit flush with this, but it's very minor. But yes, yet again, this door seems to be poking out. Very common problem, and that happens to be the passenger rear door. This door handle sits out, and those are the wheels. So now let's check if this door is flush and this handle is flush. So due to the fact that it has that huge gap on the left side, I unfortunately am going to have to fail this Model Y. Now let's move on to another Model Y. So alright, we have this beautiful black Model Y, and it also has the upgraded wheels. And remember, if you decide on getting the black, I strongly suggest that you order paint protection film, due to the fact that with the black, the paint is very fragile and you're probably going to see swirl marks whenever you wash the car. So, in order to prevent this, get yourself some paint protection film. It's going to run you about $4,000 to do the whole entire car. If that's too much for you, at least do the front of the vehicle so you can prevent from having any rock chips or any type of swirl marks or scratches. I personally have my vehicle paint protection film, and it was the greatest choice that I have ever made. So, taking a look at the left side, now making sure the fender matches the hood and the hood matches the bumper, and that there's no paint discolorations, no scratches, etc., etc. On to the right side. So far, so good. Now let's take a look at these wheels. And these cars are currently coming from the Fremont factory. So, doors nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. So taking a look, this is the interior. It's all packaged up, wrapped up, ready to go. Now let's take a look right over here. Checking this door handle. So right over here, I do see a scratch over here on this Model Y. So that's something that if it's on the clear coat, it probably can be buffed out, so it's nothing to worry about. Now let's move on to the rear. And the rear is flush. Now let's move on to this door over here. And it does poke out a little bit. It's very slight, but taking a look at this gap over here, I would say I do like what I'm seeing. It's nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. And this over here, I would prefer if it was a little bit tighter, but it's good. I really like it. So taking a look at the charge port door. Now taking a look at the lights. So this light sits in a little bit. They should be flush, but unfortunately it's not flush. Moving on to the rear. Let's check. Also, this light is not flush. Now let's take a look over here on the right side. It's nice and tight. Over here, this panel's nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. Also, this passenger rear door is flush. So this Model Y has a lot of good things about this Model Y. It's not perfect, but it has a lot of good things. So this door handle pokes out a little bit. With a minor adjustment, it can be fixed. So what I'm going to say is that this Model Y is a pass. Definitely, I would like that scratch buffed out, and I would definitely have the car cleaned. And yeah, so gets a pass. Now let's move on to our final Model Y. Wait a minute. What is this? Okay, so I guess it's I don't know. Well, let's move on to another Model Y. So guess what? We have another black Model Y, and this has the standard wheels, and this is our final Model Y for the evening. Let's take a look at the left side. Let's take a look at the hood. And I am finding that there is minor scratches. Actually, that's not scratches. It's just a little bit of dirt. But it looks like scratches. But let's look at the left side. And let's take a look at the right side. So, these are the standard wheels that come under your hubcaps. And what I would probably do is powder coat these wheels because they look phenomenal. I wouldn't pay an extra $2,000 for these rims. They're definitely not worth it. Powder coating it yourself will cost you about 80 bucks. You're going to need yourself to buy 4 spray cans. And you're going to have to do a little bit of labor. But it's not going to cost you that much. If you get it done by a professional, it may cost you $200 to $400, depending on how the quality and how great they do it. But yeah, that's what I would do personally, instead of spending $2,000. So let's move on to the driver's side door. Nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. Taking a look at the interior. Everything's all packaged up and ready to go. And remember, after you've done doing a thorough check of the exterior, that's when you want to check the interior. Check the steering wheel. Check the center console. Check under your seats. Check your glove box. Check your side doors. Check your software. Make sure it's operational. Check the back seats. Move the seats down. Check the seat of the seats. There's no scratches. Then after you've done that, check the trunk. Open and close the trunk. And open and close the front. Shut all doors. Make sure that all doors lock and secure properly. So let's continue on with the quality check. Let's check this door handle over here. See if it's flush, and it is flush. Let's check this to see if it's flush, and it is flush. Let's check this handle, this rear, to see if it's flush, and it is flush. So I do like that gap, but I do prefer if it was a little bit tighter, but it is good. It's not as bad as what I've seen today. I think with the gray Model Y, but the black Model Y seems to be a little bit tighter than the grays, so that is good. Now over here, looking at over here, I do see a bunch of swirl marks, and that's what happens. It's very visible on the black paint, so remember, get yourself some paint protection film. Now, taking a look at the right side is nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. This door over here is flush, beautiful. Taking a look at the wheels, taking a look at and this handle is flush. Taking a look at the glass roof, and it is flush, and it is flush. So, fortunately, I will be passing this Model Y. So we've gotten a chance to take a look at 3 Model Ys today, and this one got a fail and these 2 got a pass. So is Tesla perfect? No. Do they have a lot of work to do? Yes. Keep on complaining. Keep on telling your sales rep that all the problems and all the defects for the vehicle. Make sure that Tesla goes that extra mile to put a smile on your face. These vehicles are not cheap, and the prices tend to keep on rising. So that's all I gotta say. So thank you and have a nice day. Hey, would you like to win a Tesla Model 3? All you have to do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. And one lucky subscriber will win a Tesla Model 3.